Hello and welcome back to the Railroad Connection. As you can see, I've had a lot of progress recently. I know the last update video, it was just getting finished with the drywall. Obviously, I probably should have made a couple videos since then, but here is the latest. Starting at this end, we'll have the double track main line up on top. Then we're going to have the yard lead down on the other side. And that'll eventually climb. It'll have the siding on the right, which ironically is a very tight siding, so I'm glad I made it to the right. But if you follow the siding up, we'll get up to the top, and then we'll have I believe I'm going to put coal mine up here. Haven't completely figured it out yet, but hoping to have 4, possibly 5 little tracks up there, and then that's going to connect right to the siding up here with the number 5 switch track. And then over here, I was thinking about making another little industry back there. Haven't really decided. Now's probably the best opportunity to do that while I put the track down. And then those 2 tracks will come up here. They will meet with this curved turnout here. And then there'll be another turnout, bringing it back over to where it would cross. And then eventually make its way back down through the peninsula where the yard would be on the other end. So basically the track to the yard will be a complete circuit as well. It's just like the 2 mains, except obviously you have your inclines. And let's get back to the other side and we'll start again for the main. It's pretty straightforward. Nothing here but the cardboard cutout to where I'm just kind of coming up with the idea of what I wanted to do here. I believe I'm going to have it go out to the back and then cross over where the yard will eventually bottom out to the base of the benchwork. But I don't know. I'm still calculating out the grade. I'm hoping to be bottomed out just about here, and then I'll be able to cross it over, push the main to the back. But obviously the main comes out. Kind of just have my bridges mocked up for now. Obviously the ugly 2x3s definitely not going to stay. I'm thinking of doing a water seam here. Obviously this is the bridge that opens. I got my little rail guards, but this just swings. Got my 2 hinges on the other side. Got a bit of stability underneath there too, with the 2x3s and bracing. I mean, it's pretty sturdy and it shouldn't move at all. I mean, I got a little wobble when it's all the way out, but with all the panels that are in place when it closes, it sits nice and snug, especially when the latch is latched. You barely even can tell that the rails are cut. For the main, got my Atlas switches over here. Kind of had a problem with them as my tracks were a little closer than the standard, so I had to do a little grinding of the tracks, kind of offset them a little bit so I didn't interrupt or mess with the points, especially on the Atlas because of plastic. Didn't need the rail breaking off, so I decided to come up with a little way to fix that. Moving forward, got my nice turns coming out here. I think the inner is a little larger than a 36-inch radius. Did my super elevation. Got a slight super elevation on these turns. Obviously, it's just, a slight turn. But once I get into the larger turns, or the longer turns, I get into a little bit higher. So, anywho, the double main will come around, and it's going to meet up again with the yard track. We're going to have the two turnouts. You obviously have the two that'll go down with the yard, and then you'll have the option keep it on the main, and then you'll have the other turnout that will lead off the yard, and then it'll go back to the outer main, whereas the inner main will connect right through here and go down. So that way, hopefully when I'm done with this, the way that I mapped it out is you'll be able to run from the inside to the outside to the yard, and then all the way back through. So you'll be able to use all three tracks potentially for one complete trip around the layout. Trying to think of some other stuff that I've gotten done. I mean, obviously this whole side still a work in progress, which is almost ironic because I had this side done right after this main piece, but then I kind of got wrapped up in this corner, which I'm still working on. I got the I believe I said this was the number 5 switch in. It seems to be even with the radius of the inner and outer turn, so that went in really nice, and I'll be getting these two set up to meet up with this switch. But other than that, definitely been busy. Nice photos on the walls. Still got to figure out how I want to mount a TV up there. And as you can see, I get a little too carried away with playtime, as well as actually construction. I mean, I have a lot of these engines out. Mostly, I brought the FEF out today. Stopped at the shop, picked up a DCC decoder for it. Just a straight DCC, no sound. Not bad, $20. At least I can actually operate the engine now instead of being on DC. So I was trying to verify all my curves are adequate for everything. I think the only issue that I had is with the Class A. Obviously, when it gets to this really sharp corner over here, if I have any passengers, might have an issue with the cab. But luckily for me, the siding is mostly meant for any co-loads and freight operations. Usually the passenger trains will have the green light for the main, so I don't really see having passengers over there that often. And then in case that I have a Class A on the siding, just keep it away from the turn. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments or thoughts or any areas for improvement, definitely open for options. But I think that's about it. Till next time, guys.